There's a moment every creator experiences. You upload a video, then you wait. You watch the graph, you refresh the analytics page, and eventually you start wondering the same thing every creator wonders. What exactly is the algorithm learning from this video? Because something is learning. Every click, every swipe, every second someone stays on the screen, something is watching that behavior and turning it into data. But the surprising part of this, the algorithm isn't really studying the video, it's studying the audience. And once you understand that, the entire system starts to make a lot more sense. This is YouTube Field Notes. When creators talk about the algorithm, the conversation usually starts in the wrong place. We talk about titles, we talk about thumbnails, we talk about keywords. But the algorithm doesn't actually care about any of those things directly. Those things exist for one reason: to influence viewer behavior. Because behavior is the real data. A title is just an invitation, a thumbnail is just a signal. The video itself is just an opportunity. If I click, but leave right away, that's one signal. But if I stay, that tells a completely different story. What the system actually measures is what viewers do next. Do they click? Do they scroll past? Do they stay? Do they leave? Do they watch again? Those small actions become the signals that teach the system what the video might be worth showing to someone else. The first signal appears the moment the viewer sees the video. Maybe it shows up on the home page, maybe in the Shorts feed, maybe beside another video in the recommended panel. At that moment, the system asks a simple question: will this viewer stop scrolling? If the answer is yes, YouTube records something important: a click, or a pause, or a tap. That tiny moment becomes the first clue. Every time I stop scrolling, that moment becomes data, not about the video, but about me. Because stopping the scroll is surprisingly valuable. In a world where viewers can swipe away instantly, even a small pause matters. It tells the algorithm something interrupted the viewer's pattern. Something about that video caught attention. But that's only the first step. The next signal appears after the click. What happens once the video starts? Do they leave immediately? Do they watch for 10 seconds and move on? Or do they stay longer than expected? This is where watch time becomes important. Watch time is often misunderstood as a creator metric, but to the algorithm, it's simply feedback. It tells the system whether the video delivered on the promise of a click. If someone clicks and leaves immediately, that suggests the video didn't match their expectations. But if someone watches most of the video, that becomes a stronger signal, because it suggests something the viewer found was worth staying for, and the system notices that difference. But watch time isn't the only behavior the algorithm studies. What happens after the video matters just as much. Does the viewer keep watching other videos? Do they leave the platform? Do they search for another topic? Or do they watch another video from the same creator? These follow-up behaviors tell YouTube something deeper. They reveal whether the video helped keep the viewer engaged on the platform, and that's the real goal of the system. Not just to deliver a single video, but to create a chain of engagement. One video leading to another, one idea connected to the next. If a video contributes to that chain, the signal becomes stronger. Another signal appears most clearly inside the Shorts feed: swiping. Every swipe teaches the algorithm something. If a viewer sees a short and immediately swipes away, the system interprets that as a mismatch. Most videos get skipped instantly, so even a pause, even a second, means something has changed. But if the viewer pauses before swiping, even for a moment, the signal changes, because hesitation matters. And if the viewer watches most of the short before swiping away, the signal becomes stronger still. Because choosing to stay even briefly means the content captured attention, and attention is one of the most valuable signals the system can measure. But there's another behavior that many creators overlook: repeat viewing. Sometimes a viewer watches a moment again. Sometimes they replay a short. Sometimes they loop the content. When that happens, the system notices, because repetition often means curiosity. Something in the video made the viewer want to see it again. Maybe they missed a detail. Maybe they liked the moment. Maybe they were trying to understand something. Whatever the reason, repetition sends a powerful signal. It tells the system the video created enough interest for someone to stay engaged longer than expected, and those signals add up quickly. When you step back and look at all these behaviors together, a pattern starts to emerge. The algorithm isn't judging the video the way creators imagine. It isn't asking whether the video is good, it's observing how the viewers respond. Clicks, watch time, swipes, replays. Each one becomes a small piece of evidence, and slowly the algorithm begins to learn something important. Not just about the video, but about the audience. Because the real question YouTube is trying to answer is this: who enjoys this idea? At first, the audience might be very small, a handful of viewers, maybe a few dozen, just enough people to gather early signals. The system watches those interactions carefully. If the behavior looks promising, YouTube begins testing the video with a slightly larger group. Not randomly, but with viewers who have shown similar behavior before. People who tend to watch videos on this topic. People who usually stay when this kind of content appears. Each test teaches the system something new. And gradually the picture becomes clearer. The algorithm begins to recognize where the video belongs and who might want to see it next. But the process doesn't always happen immediately. Sometimes the signals are weak. Sometimes the audience response is mixed. Sometimes the system simply doesn't have enough data yet. And when that happens, the video may appear to sit quietly. The graph stays flat. The views slow down. From a creator's perspective, it can feel like the video failed. But sometimes the system is simply waiting for new viewers to appear, waiting for another signal, waiting for the right audience to cross paths with that idea. Because the algorithm isn't chronological, it's experimental, and that's why older videos sometimes wake up again. A new group of viewers appears. The system tests the video with them, and suddenly the signals change. Watch time improves, click behavior improves, repeat viewing appears, and when those signals align, the algorithm may begin expanding distribution again. Even if the video has been sitting quietly for days or weeks, sometimes much longer. Once you start seeing the system this way, the conversation about the algorithm changes. Maybe instead of asking, "Did my video succeed?" we start asking something more interesting. How did the viewers behave when they saw it? Did they click? Did they stay? Did they watch most of it? Did they watch again? Because those questions lead us closer to understanding what the system is actually learning. The algorithm isn't watching creators, it's watching the audience. Every upload becomes a small experiment. Each viewer interaction becomes a signal. Over time, those signals form patterns. Patterns that tell YouTube where a video belongs, and who might enjoy seeing it next. That's why this channel exists. Not to claim certainty about the algorithm, but to observe what happens after we upload, to watch the signals appear, to notice the patterns forming across the channel, because the platform rarely explains what it's doing. It simply leaves clues. Clues hidden in the graphs, clues hidden in viewer behavior, clues hidden in the small signals that appear after every upload. The algorithm doesn't learn from videos, it learns from viewers. Clicks, swipes, watch time, repeat viewing. Each one becomes a signal. Each one teaches the system something new. And over time, those signals determine where video travels next. This is YouTube Field Notes.